An introduction to long-term athlete development. It's a model that's carried out in a wide array of sports. Istvan Valley created the LTAD model in the 1990s, which supplements the athlete with specific activities and sessions to suit each phase of their career. In doing this, the main aim is on maximising a player's potential. Within the UK, long-term athlete development has been proposed by a variety of national governing bodies to offer a first step to considering the approach to talent development. The model, which is primarily a physiological perspective, presents an advancement of understanding of developing athletic potential alongside biological growth. It focuses on training to optimize performance longitudinally and considers sensitive development periods known as windows of opportunity. However, it appears that there are a number of problems with this theoretical model that are not necessarily transparent to coaches. Primarily, the model is only one-dimensional. There is a lack of empirical evidence upon which the model is based, and interpretations of the model are restricted because of the data which it is based on rely on questionable assumptions and erroneous methodologies. Fundamentally, this is a generic model rather than an individualised plan for athletes. It is crucial that the LTAD model is seen as a work in progress, and the challenge, particularly for paediatric exercise scientists, is to question, test and revise the model. It is unlikely that this can be accomplished using classical experimental research methodology in this, but it should not deter practitioners from acquiring valid and reliable evidence. The strengths and weaknesses of the LTAD model. The strengths is that it gives a good guide for coaches to follow so they can make their sessions the best they can. It prioritises training for young players because too much competition can damage an athlete's dedication to a sport. It realises the dedication an athlete needs to reach an elite standard of ability. There's less chance of injuries due to the fact that coaches can eliminate bad training practices and force development. It encourages athletes to become multi-skilled and not specialise early. Its weaknesses are that any athlete that picks up the sport later on misses a window of opportunity to develop their game. It doesn't consider that not all athletes reach an elite level and doesn't meet their needs of athletes who enjoy playing the sport as a means of leisure. The FA, which is the governing body for football in England, developed the LTAD model from Istvan Balyi in 2004 thanks to a £500,000 grant from Sport England. The money was to help support the FA's long-term player development at a youth level, and from this the FA created the four-corner model. They adapted the model by focusing it more on footballs by studying a player's development over a period of years by coaching players across the four corners to develop future England players that will excel in international football. The four-corner model was developed by the FA in order to aid coaches with their planning and delivery of grassroots coaching sessions. The aim is not for the effects and aims of the session to dramatically change, but to encourage coaches to break down their sessions more intricately and consider their impacts which their coaching has on players they work with. In order to make the model accessible for all levels of coaching, the four colours are simply broke down and colour coded: red for technical, green for psychological, yellow for physical, blue for social. The four aspects can be relatively easily defined. Technical is football skills on the ball, control, passing, dribbling, shooting, etc. Psychological is the mental attributes, decision making, enjoyment, spatial awareness, etc. Physical is the movement within the game, sprinting, turning, jumping, acceleration, agility. And then finally, social is the interactions with other participants, communication, teamwork, friendship. The four-corner model looks at players aged 5 to 21 years old. The coaching priorities for each player differ on which age phase they fall under. The FA has set out 3 age phases. The first age phase is 5 to 11-year-olds, in which they encourage positivity, individuality and confidence. They also